Hi everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. There's no doubt about it and no way to escape it. Life is full of ups and downs. And as the saying goes, it's how you handle the downs that defines you. It's easier said than done, I totally get that. But I recently found some inspiration and a lot of motivation thanks to two KOMO colleagues.
What would you call it, like schedule?
I think so.
Yes. Here we go. Okay, good.
You welcome them into your home every weekday on KOMO 4. Kelly Koopmans anchors the morning news, while Mary Nam anchors the evening newscast. But now the co-workers and friends have joined forces for a passion project.
Welcome to Hard Turn. I'm Kelly Koopmans.
And I'm Mary Nam. So I wanted to do a podcast on how people deal with change in life, because that's what makes life interesting, right? Is how we overcome change. And not necessarily bad change, but it could be, whether it's a career change or becoming a parent for the first time or whatever. It runs the gamut, life change. So Kelly came on board. She came up with Hard Turn, which is brilliant. And it just kind of took off from there.
That's the one thing I'll take credit for. That's the one thing with the entire concept I'll take credit for is just the title.
Oh, life. Life is full of big moments where every once in a while we have to pivot on our path.
And these moments come with all kinds of emotions. We're talking fear and anxiety, sometimes joy, sometimes relief.
As you can imagine, this podcast is personal for both Mary and Kelly. They get candid about their lives and their hard turns. For Mary, she wanted to shake things up after years in news.
After doing something for so long, I just felt this itch to do something else. Not entirely different, like I want to quit and become a chef. Not like that, but I needed to, I wanted to stretch my muscles again. I wanted to talk to people about something that's not necessarily news related. So that itch had been going pretty strong for a while.
That's why the Hard Turn podcast was born. Now Mary and Kelly touch on a wide range of topics, from friendship to kids to grief. And that hits home for Kelly.
So I think Mary asked me to be part of the podcast in June. And at that point, my husband had cancer and he was going through cancer treatment. And I think part of what made me want to jump on board with this was, I was going through my own hard turn. And everyone, I think, in our family was going through a hard turn. So I thought, and was correct, that it would be really cathartic to talk about the other, sometimes struggles, not always struggles, that other people are going through and hear that, I'm not the only one going through something that is literally shaking the foundation of life. But we proceeded to record these episodes starting maybe in June, all the way through November. So my husband passed away in September, as we know, and we addressed that in an episode too. We talked to some other medical professionals or people who went through grief. And I think I intentionally sought some of those out as my own little mini free therapy session, probably. But when Michael did pass, it made me felt like I had a safe space and an outlet to talk to other people about that and let them know that they're not alone. Because I sure could feel totally isolated in that moment. But thanks in part to this, and thanks in part to a lot of other things, I didn't feel that isolation. Is it easy to talk about the loss of your husband and kid's dad? No, but I know that I'm not the only person who's gone through it. And so I think particularly through the grief episode, it was something that actually was really helpful for me to do.
There's so much wrapped up in these episodes. Kelly and Mary also talk to people in the community to share their own hard turn.
Personally, for me, my favorite episode has been where we interview Brad Evans from Seattle Sounders. And he was talking about life after professional sports. And it was really eye-opening. It was really, we put pro athletes on a pedestal, and to hear him talk about what it has been like after he retired due to injury and what life is like for professional athletes, man, that kind of blew my mind. It was so eye-opening. I really loved that conversation.
Great conversations and a great friendship. That really is what this podcast comes down to.
I feel like we're so lucky that we could choose to be a part of this together because we are friends. And to be honest with you, it feels like friend time. It feels like, a part of it feels like girl talk time. And it's a nice outlet to have after, you're working, we're on set, all of that stuff. When we come in here and start recording, yes, there is a work element, But more often than not, like the underlying base, the foundation is the friendship element. So it doesn't feel like work.
And we talk about the importance of friendship and kind of the cornerstone that gives stability of life, and that's part of what I get out of this too. And I was always really thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm so lucky to have her. We're lucky to have each other. Yeah.
Mary and Kelly come out with a new episode of Hard Turn every Wednesday. To listen to the past episodes and future ones, Hard Turn is available now wherever you get your podcasts. We've also posted a link to SeattleRefined.com.